for those who are trying to find love, I just want to tell you that the fantasy is not real. The fantasy is not real. The fantasy that some grow up with the mentality of thinking, I want this beautiful relationship with this person. And this sometimes sticks in your head. I call it fantasy stored syndrome. Yeah. Yeah, that fantasy is stuck in some people's head. It's never going to be peaches and cream. Don't get it twisted. You don't fall in love. You grow in love. You have to grow with that person. In order for you to find the right person, when you get with someone, you grow to become the right person. The first 6 months, the first 8 months, the year, possibly 2 years, everything is going to be peaches and cream. Everything is going to go the way you want it to go, which is the fantasy stage. But after that, here comes the trials, the tribulations. Here comes the disagreements. Here comes the arguments. Here comes the things you don't like. Here comes the things that you get annoyed with. Here comes the frustration. All of that is going to happen no matter what you do, no matter who you get with, no matter what person you get with. It's all going to happen. This is why most people jump in a relationship in the fantasy stage, which is the beginning. And they jump out as soon as they come into the rough stages, which is the reality. See, because that fantasy is stored. It's definitely stored in your head. And sometimes it stays there until you're in your 60s. Some people never get over that. Never get over the fantasy stage. Oh yeah, it's real in some people's heads until they get into their 60s and 70s and they realize, you know what? Why can't I find the right person? And they never thought, it's me. It was me the whole time. Brothers, it was you the whole time, thinking you're going to find that queen and she going to be all this and that. All in your head thinking it's going to be like this. And when you get there, it's not like that. So in reality, you have to grow with that person for that person to be the right person for you. You can't think that everything is going to be peaches and cream when you get with someone. If you do that, you are in a position to be in a rude awakening. You're going to have a rude awakening, man. And then you're going to constantly go out to try to find that fantasy love again and again and again and again. And it never stops because you never wanted to go through any trials and tribulations. You got to go through trials and tribulations. You got to go through that period where you don't like each other. You're going to go through that. If you are looking to be in a long-term relationship, you are not going to like that person. Yeah, you're not going to like that person. There's going to be times where you going to hate each other. You're going to be pissed with each other. You understand? And that's the time you have to fight through that. Communicate. Speak soft to one another. Be calm. Don't get so easily angered over the little things. You got to come to an agreement. You have to compromise. Something that most people don't want to do is compromise. You got to say, I was wrong. I'm going to say that one more time. You must say, I was wrong, and not just to say I was wrong, really mean it and know where you were wrong at. You have to apologize. There's going to be times where you have to apologize. Most people, a lot of people, do not like to apologize for their wrong. You can't always be right. It's impossible. And if you are right, that person should say, you know, you're right. Especially when you know deep down inside that she was right. You have to say, baby, you know what? He was 100% right. Especially if you know he was correct or right. You have to say, my sister, you know what, baby? You were right. My apology. I didn't see it. Now that you showed me that, I see that. You got to understand you're on the same team. If you don't see if you don't see yourself on the same team trying to accomplish the same goal, you are not going to get through in that relationship. You will be checking out and you will be trying to look for another to go back to the fantasy stage, which is the beginning of a new person. You're going to go through it. So be prepared if you're looking for love. Love has a lot to do with trials, tribulations, sadness, pain, anger, frustration, being annoyed. You will be annoyed with your partner. Trust me on that. You're not going to get through this thing called love or a relationship thinking it's going to be peaches and cream.